Hi guys, so I promised you a short and easy video this week coming off of all of the Eucharist talks. So today I wanted to talk to you about prayer. More specifically, I want to talk to you about the feelings you get when you pray. One of the fancy terms that we have is consolation. What consolation means is it's that wonderful feel-good feeling. You feel very close to God, you feel happy, you feel content, you never want to leave that spot. That's called consolation. Desolation is the opposite of that. Desolation is when you are in prayer and you feel like God is not listening to you, God is not present, you have no connection with God. That's called desolation. A lot of people ask why they feel nothing when they're in their prayer life, and a lot of times they are in desolation. There is an important desolation is necessary. Let me say that. We all want, when we are in prayer, to feel that ultimate connection with God all the time. But the thing is, if we look at nature, let's look at animals. For example, look at, if you have a pet, think of your dog. If your dog is in the comfy, warm house, he has food, he's so toasty, he's so happy, he does not probably want to go outside, especially if it's storming. I know that with my dog, I have to actually go stand out in the rain with him, and even then it's kind of like, oh, I'm not really going to go with you right now. But if we are happy and we are content, we are not going to move from that spot. The exact same thing happens in our life with God. When we are in this happy place, this feel-good place, we're not usually looking to make any changes to our life. Now, when our prayer life enters into desolation, where we have this feeling of loneliness, this feeling of sadness, it's kind of like, if you picture your dog then being out in the rain, he wants to move to someplace better, someplace more comfortable. A lot of times in your spiritual life, in your prayer life, what you're going to see is that something works for a while and then it no longer works. And usually, the reason that there is this quietness from God is because this is your opportunity to make a decision. This is your opportunity to begin to move yourself to a different place. If we found ourselves in this, if you think of yourself as a kid, usually you say, an Our Father, a Hail Mary before bed, something like that, and you have this happiness, you feel this closeness with God. When we get older, a lot of times that doesn't do it for us anymore. We might say an Our Father, a Hail Mary, and it feels super flat. We feel no connection with God. So you might turn to doing something like charity work, or praying with a friend, or a Bible study, and then you might have that fullness again, that community, that love. So when we look at our prayer lives and we feel like it's falling completely flat, it's okay. There are reasons that we have that flatness. There's reasons that we have that loneliness. It is God's very gentle way of just staying quiet for a few minutes and letting us decide our next way to go. If I am walking, pretend that I am God. Boop, 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 boop. I'm walking. The dog is the person. This is a horrible analogy, just go with it. But anyway, if I'm dropping dog treats of happiness, my dog is going to keep following me. Like he's gonna be like, wow, this is so easy to follow you because you keep giving me stuff. When we look at our relationship with God, it's kind of the same thing. If we keep getting these ooey gooey feel good feelings where everything feels perfect, of course we're gonna keep following after God. We're not gonna make any changes. But when we have that disruption to our lives where we question things, we don't feel comfortable anymore, that's the room that we get to grow in. That's when we get to make decisions ourselves. We get to go in new directions. We get to sort things out ourselves, and it's an extremely, extremely important part of your prayer life. So your writing prompt for this week is, I want you to talk to me about times in your life where you felt consolation, the good feelings, and times in your life when you have felt desolation, the loneliness. And if you've had them, and you have examples of how you've been brought out of that desolation, let me know about it. Anyway, here's your easy video, so enjoy, and until next week.